Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1264.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about Gen Z thinking they need $1.2 million to retire. That may seem high to some people, that may seem low to some people, but we're going to talk about, is that the right number and what kind of assumptions are going into that number. So Northwestern Mutual did a study, a 2023 planning and progress study, in which Americans in their 20s said they think they need $1.2 million to retire comfortably. And so far, they've saved about $35,800 for retirement on average. Now, they're young, so they have time on their side to compound. However, I gave you a formula recently that was a retirement formula that told you, based on a lump sum, how much income that would generate and how you could include or not include Social Security or your pension and other income sources in that calculation. The calculation was basically to take the annual income that you want in retirement, subtract out any pension or Social Security income that you're going to receive, and then take that number and divide it by 0.04. And some people think the number should be 0.03. If you really want to be sure that it's going to last your entire life, you would only take out 3% per year. So what I'm noticing with Gen Z and them saying that they need $1.2 million for retirement is when we multiply that times 0.04, that gives $48,000 a year is what they think they're going to need in retirement. Now, they may or may not be adding Social Security to that. If they were to receive $1,000 a month in Social Security, that's $12,000 a year. That would give them $60,000 a year in retirement, assuming a 4% interest rate that they withdrew money at. Now, whether they've calculated all that and they're aware of that, or whether 1.2 million for some reason sounds like a good number, I'm not sure. But it definitely is in the ballpark depending on where they live in the country, what their lifestyle is, so it's not unrealistic. And because they're in their 20s, they have 40 years to compound their money, which is the most important thing. If you have time to compound, as I mentioned in my first book, You're Already a Wealth Heiress, then you have an easier go of it because the compounding will do the heavy lifting for you. Having more time in the equation means you don't have to invest as much money because the time takes care of the extra compounding and the extra earning, if you will. But the important thing is you have to invest. A lot of retirement articles talk about how much you need to save, and they give these astronomical amounts of savings that you have to do annually, so it makes it sound like it's nearly impossible to reach these goals. And that's not true. It is possible to reach your goals, especially because the stock market year in and year out, on average, has returned about a 10% average annual return. And that compounding is what, at a higher level, is what's going to make it easier for you to reach your goals. Now, a lot of times they'll say to young people, well, if you want to start at age 21 and you want to have $1.2 million, that means if you earned only 3%, you'd have to put away $1,350 a month. That's not doable for the average 21-year-old. Or they'll say if you earned 7% on average in your investments, you'd have to put away $493 per month. Well, that's better, but if you can compound higher, you can put away less. And that's what the point is. And that's why 401k plans are so valuable, because not only does your employer give you free money in many cases and match your contributions, say up to 3%, depends on your plan, but your money also grows without tax and compounds by whatever you've invested it in. So hopefully, as a young person, you're investing the majority of your money in stocks so they have the opportunity to compound at 10%. If you put too much in bonds, you'll be compounding at 5% or less. And that's okay for a small portion of your portfolio, but when you're in your 20s, you want to have the majority in growth-oriented investments, which would be stocks. And that's one of the problems I have with the target date funds, is at different ages, they can put too much of your portfolio in bonds and thereby stunt your growth rate, your compounding rate that you're getting. You want to reach that 10% average annual compounding because that's going to get you to your goal. The lower the rate you compound at, the longer it's going to take you. But the purpose of bonds is to be a shock absorber in your portfolio, since stocks do have rough years such as the one we went through last year, and bonds can help smooth out some of that volatility. Some other interesting statistics about Gen Zers: about 65% of Gen Z and 54% of millennials feel they'll be financially prepared for retirement when the time comes, according to the Northwestern Mutual study. And they're already making progress toward achieving their retirement goals. Gen Z saw their 401k balance increase by 34% compared to the first quarter of 2022, the highest rise out of any generational cohort, per Fidelity's findings. Additionally, the amount of IRA accounts opened by Gen Z increased by 25% in the first quarter of 2023 compared with a year ago, again according to the Fidelity report. And when you look at average 401k balances as of the first quarter of 2023, according to Fidelity, Gen Z had $7,100 in their 401k plan, millennials had $44,900 in their 401k plan, Gen X had $145,500, and baby boomers had $215,000 in their 401k plan. And the older you get, of course, the more serious you want to get about saving for retirement, and the more that you want to put money aside. Of course, once you get to age 50, you can do catch-up contributions and put in additional amounts into your retirement plans. The average age of retirement is age 62. Generation Y, who are ages 25 to 40, they would like to retire at age 59. Generation X, who is now age 41 to 56, would like to retire at age 60. And baby boomers, who are age 57 to 75, say they plan to work longer and have an average expected retirement age of 68, which is not surprising because Social Security has moved up the age of maximum benefits to age 67 for full retirement benefits. What's interesting is 83% of non-retired U.S. investors said they're confident they will be financially secure in retirement. That includes 88% of Gen Y, 82% of Gen X, and 79% of baby boomers. However, there's 41% out there who responded that it's going to take a miracle to achieve financial security in retirement. Since the pandemic, many people have been wondering, can I retire sooner? And there's a few different ways you can do that. You can make extra contributions to your retirement plan, or you can find additional sources of income. Additional sources of income could be things like a side hustle. And I have other podcasts that you can listen to about side hustles and how to develop a side hustle and ways to think about what might be a side hustle that you could do. Having extra sources of income on the side could cut the time that you need to save for retirement by about 10 years. According to Winnie Sun, Managing Director of Sun Group Wealth Partners in Irvine, California, she says, I tell my clients if you want to shave off 10 years pre-retirement, that means we really need to hustle now and find other ways to bring in income. And that goes back to my retirement plan formula. So if we go back to episode 1259, how much money you need to retire, again, that formula was taking your annual income minus any additional income and dividing by 0.04 or 0.03 if you want to be really conservative. But 4% per year that you can take out of your retirement plan is generally considered to be something that's going to last you a long time. So if your income in retirement is $50,000 and you're going to earn $1,000 a month of Social Security, you subtract that $12,000, that gives you $38,000. Divide that by 0.04, which is 4%, and that gives you $950,000 you need to have in retirement. So any additional money that you have from a side hustle would be money that would help you retire. But remember, if you earn too much money in retirement, it does reduce your Social Security. So there can be a little bit of a snafu with that. But what that extra income does is it reduces the need for the large lump sum. So if you have the ability to earn income on the side, it means you can retire sooner. And for a lot of people, that's what they're looking for right now. So if that's been on your mind, you probably want to start thinking about what is a side hustle that you can start now that's going to propel reliable income for you into the future, and that's what's going to get you retired earlier. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.